It's the best of times. Mardi Gras 2010. The New Orleans Saints have just won the Super Bowl. Saints quarterback Drew Brees is King Bacchus in the Crew of Bacchus Mardi Gras parade. With the Super Bowl victory, the papers trumpet that New Orleans is truly back. Back from that worst of times, when much of the coast of Mississippi and Louisiana and the city of New Orleans was devastated by Hurricane Katrina. Carnival, or Mardi Gras here in New Orleans, is understood as a time of renewal. For celebrants in medieval times, it was a kind of second life for the people, a promise of the way things could be. It's amazing to be a part of. The end of Mardi Gras is signaled by the ceremonial clearing of Bourbon Street at midnight by a mounted squad of New Orleans police officers. Tomorrow is the start of Lent, a period of self-denial, prayer, and reflection, commencing with Ash Wednesday, or what the locals call Trash Wednesday. In the French Quarter, it is hard to imagine that nearly 5 years ago, New Orleans was almost entirely underwater. In our age of global media, no one was unaware of the catastrophe. Many of those on the religious right proclaimed that Hurricane Katrina was punishment for sins against God. For the most part, however, the response to Katrina was more charitable, with thousands of volunteers, students, church groups, NGOs, and the odd celebrity heading to New Orleans to help with the recovery. Over the course of 3 years, during the University Reading Week, students from the universities of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier, and McMaster volunteered with Common Ground Relief, a non-profit organization working in the Lower Ninth Ward in New Orleans.
Where's our form?
It might not be a big ticket though.
But, yeah, where's our form?
Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord, for the hurricane. I see your boundless love in the faces etched with pain. And thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you for the memory of the ark. You are the shining light we see when we're drowning in the dark.
Oh!
I really felt like it was just like Adam like fucking with I'm gonna blindfold you and then I'm gonna hit you over the head with bread. What are the rules exactly?
A quick visual run through, okay?
Alright, we're both blindfolded.
Right, we're both blindfolded.
Are you there, Moriarty? What?
Artie.
Moriarty.
Are you there, Moriarty?
Yes. Are you there, Moriarty?
Are you there, Moriarty? Supposedly has bread in it. Okay.
Common Ground Relief is just one of like 7 not-for-profits that are functioning primarily in the lower Ninth Ward. And what we've done, Brad Pitt and Angie Jolie came to us last summer asking what they could do to go ahead and help start rebuilding here in the lower Ninth Ward. And they approached all these different organizations. And we've set an initial target area of the levee wall, the Claiborne Bridge, up to Prier, which is where the oak tree is, just north of the Blue House, over to Forestall, which is 3 blocks from here. There are 150 home owners who actually had houses in this 7-block area. Right now, there are only about 10 houses that are still standing of the 150. We've been able to find about 90 of those 150 property owners, and about 75 of them have indicated an interest in coming back and having their homes rebuilt.
I'm in the real estate business in Miami, in Florida, and but I came up here first gutting as a gutter in October of 2006, and then went back and forth, and then was asked about this time last year to start looking at in anticipation of Common Ground Relief becoming its own 501c3 for tax purposes here in the U.S. You know, to go ahead and start looking at the books and start doing a little bit of financial reorganization.
Tom Pepper had arranged for us to interview and film some local residents in order to help Common Ground develop some promotional material. While Corey and Peter went off to chat with residents and activists, the rest of us tried to get the official story. We decided to take one of New Orleans' many disaster tours.
Okay, so how's everyone this morning? Great day for a tour. Gray Line International Sightseeing Tours would like to welcome you all today on this tour that we call Hurricane Katrina, America's Greatest Catastrophe. Before we begin today, let me introduce myself. My name is Brad. I'll be your guide today. Sly will be driving us. And what we're going to do today is to take a look at New Orleans, as it appears now just about 2.5 years since Hurricane Katrina did make landfall. And one of the things that we emphasize is that this is not a shock and awe kind of tour. At this point in time, we're not going to be showing you lots and lots of extreme images of devastation, but rather, this tour is sort of a progress report to let you know about our story and what has taken place since the hurricane and how we have progressed in terms of the repopulation, rebuilding, recovery. And so hopefully you'll find that to be a most informative, if not uplifting experience. What better place to start than right here along the banks of the Mississippi River? The Mississippi is the 3rd largest river in the world. It winds its way down.
Tourism is what fuels this economy. We had a lot of questions about this idea of a disaster tour and how we felt about that. I mean, people have always come to New Orleans for tours. You can take swamp tours and ghost tours and, you know, walking tours of the French Quarter, and it's fun and you learn a lot about the city. But after Katrina, you know, a lot of the tour companies were sustained by the disaster tours. Now, there's a lot of different feelings about that. You know, some of the citizens felt like it was disrespectful, you know, to be there cleaning out their home with all of their possessions that had been destroyed and then have a tour bus go by with people taking pictures.
They want to build casinos. They want to build industrial canals where there used to be residential areas. They want to build hotels. They want to widen the canal areas to accommodate cruise ships. So yes, we have the sign saying, "Shame on you, 1600." You know, we can put 5,000 on that sign and still undercount the casualties. And no one should be making money off of other people's misery. And that's why we have to sign up, and that's why we encourage people to get out and find out what's really happening here. You're sitting up on a bus or in a van going around and looking at the devastation and listening to one person talk about how well, don't worry about it, everything's fine. You're not going to find out the real deal. Tourists don't find out what's really happening here unless they take the time and the opportunity, if not to come visit Common Ground and other grassroots organizations. At the very least, talk to the residents and find out. And you can't do that sitting up on a bus listening to a tour guide.